these boards and commissions have taken an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and that of the state of California, which includes, and you can check this with the Deputy City Attorney, all the laws that flow therefrom, such as the Brown Act and the Sunshine Ordinance. So basically, it is really kind of ridiculous that citizens of this city, including any of you who might have a disagreement with a policy body, has to go and fight with members of a policy body to make your comments, or to have those comments accurately reflected in the record, or to access public records. I mean, bottom line is I have a 9-1 decision against Mr. Herrera also for withholding public records from him. There's a pattern of behavior in some bodies. Some bodies you never see here because they follow the law, they do what they need to do, and others you see them here repeatedly, and they just are obstinate about it. They just say, I'm not going to do it, and I don't care what the hell. Now, the one last thing I'd like to finish, and I know a few seconds over, but a citizen shouldn't have to come here and fight with you to get you to refer a case to another body. It's either a case that should be referred and it should go before that body. We've just gotten over the whole tyranny of Mr. St. Croix being the one who dismissed all these cases without the Ethics Commission, without now starting to have members of this body start to do the same thing.
According to the complaint log, you have about 24 complaints yet to hear. You're going to hear, what, 4 today? At that rate, it'll take 6 months before you get to hear all of them. In the meantime, there will probably be more filed. So that wouldn't be a problem, I guess, unless you read the ordinance. What the ordinance says is, if the custodian refuses so forth to comply with the request, the person may petition the Sunshine Ordinance Task Force for a determination whether the record requested is public. The Sunshine Task Force shall inform the petitioner as soon as possible and within 2 days after its next meeting. I'm reading from section 6721E. Within shall immediately, as soon as possible and within 2 days after its next meeting, whether the record is requested is public. When requested, I'm sorry, I keep losing my place, but in no case later than 45 days from when the petition in writing is received.
In no case later than 45 days.
You have some complaints that go back to April. In a way, I think I have enough fingers to figure out how many months that is. So that's one thing I think you ought to address. And your experience so far will indicate there may be a problem. I also want to talk about something else that I think is really important. There's a reason why there is a lawyer member experienced in open government on the task force. And the reason is, as Mr. Need pointed out, that lawyer member has a lot to do with a number of things that the task force does, including signing off on the order of determination, reviewing the referrals, and actually being the only advocate for the complainant in the room, other than people like myself, because the city attorney doesn't do that, even though the statute says that the city attorney assigned to the task force is an advocate of the task force and the work it does. So that seat is really important, and you have to keep in mind that without that seat filled, the complainant, who's not a lawyer, is really at sea on some of these legal issues. So until that seat is filled, and as you know, there's a stalemate with the board, it's really, really important.
Thank you. Peter Warfield, Executive Director of Library Users Association. Today on the side table is the administrator's report, and according to the administrator's report, as best as I can determine, there are complaints pending, starting with our complaint, maybe not starting with our complaint, but at least our complaint number 12019, which was filed in March, and not heard because of a violation of member requirement. And the list goes on through 12056, Alan Grossman against the director of the Ethics Commission. So by my count, that's 40 cases. Also, I don't think what's very clear from this, although I'm sure if I looked hard enough, or perhaps if you did, it would be evident, there are additional cases, such as the one that's not on today's agenda from Library Users Association, which came from the Compliance and Amendments Committee
Mine too.
earlier this month. So there needs to be a really good accounting of what is pending, and most particularly, and this is crucial for the chair who presumably sets the agenda, what will be your work plan to get through these complaints and referrals from your own subcommittees? I think the public also needs to know what the strategy is so that they can figure out, well, if I file a complaint today, it's going to take 9 months or 12 months, et cetera, et cetera. Mr. Grossman has also pointed out something very crucial, and that is that you have a requirement in the ordinance for a 45-day decision on a complaint in the cases where that applies, and I believe that's in 67.21. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any more public comment? Public comment? If not, then I would like to ask the testimony, if we can just still move ahead and go to the next item. You want to take a break? Okay. We kind of wanted to keep going. Just to get.
Anyway, I believe that's all. Thank you.